back of the house. I was front of the house, and yeah, was that your first like kitchen? That was your first kitchen job?
First kitchen job.
Really? Wow. Oh my god. All right, I didn't press play on that one. I didn't press, so we need to start that over. Damn.
Good practice.
Yeah, right? That would flow so good. All right, cool. Now it feels scripted, but it's not. Let's just do it naturally. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Infinite Downloads, a space where nothing is off limits and everything is possible. Sit back and enjoy interesting conversations with interesting people. Boom, 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 boom. We're here with Daniella Alzamora today. This is a good friend that we've known each other for what? How long? Time?
X amount of time. I don't know.
I love that. That is so awesome.
Feels like forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I met you, it felt like forever.
It will be forever, you know? Like, I think the people that we meet, you know, are probably like, we're in our souls, like fucking click before we came here, you know? And like the people that you come across and stuff like that, they weren't just there for no reason. You know, this is regurgitated words from Taz, but, you know, it was like, I really believe the reason why I'm here is to have met the people that I've met along the journey, you know, and along the journey, you find your why, you know, your WHY. But, let's give people context and like to know like who you are, what's going on here. I'm Miguel. I started this podcast, and Daniella is Daniella.
I am Daniella.
Alzamora, that's your last name. We met at Planta. It's a vegan restaurant in Coconut. Well, it's
plant-based.
Yeah. I was vegan for a while. I think the longest I went was like 3 years. Are you?
I met you when we were vegan.
Are you vegan?
Vegan. I am no longer vegan.
Wow. Everyone, you know, just kind of just moves on to just saying, fuck it. You know, like, I'm just going to eat. Like it's hard because it's not even that hard, because when I was doing it, being vegan, it was just like my choice. And people were like, oh, you can't eat that. You can't eat that. It's like, no, it's not that I can't. I just don't want to. I inform myself on reasons why, like, I just didn't want to do this.
At the time when we met, I feel like it brought us so much closer.
Yeah.
It's like, we are these vegans. Like,
yeah.
That's like, I identified very hard
rebellious.
with the veganism, and we were like, these are my people.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I met you at Planta, we were like, my boy. Like, we connected on like so many other levels, but I think the veganism was like a part of it.
Definitely. Definitely. It was like a little rebellious fucking, you know, way to identify yourself. But I don't exactly know how I transitioned out of it, but I feel good now. And, you know, I think everything is about balance, and, you know, the way you alchemize everything. Like, you know, you can do some bad stuff, and then if you do yoga, you're fine, you know. That's my thing right now, man. I know. I'm just like, hi, my name's Miguel. I do yoga. But, you know, you sweat so much. It's so like, you know, really, because humans heal trauma in our bodies. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when you move it, you get it out. You know?
You want to talk yoga right now? We can go.
You know about this stuff. You know about like Krishna. I don't know anything about you like, you know about the Bhagavad Gita or something?
Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, you need a you know.
Which one? That's how we help each other. We just, you know, help each other learn. I think that's like a big thing of your podcast. I mean, you want to talk to people so that you could like, you know, we all have so many things to say. You've put me on to so many things too.
Wow.
Whether you know it or not.
No, I don't. Now I know.
Probably don't know.
Of course. And so many people think they don't matter, but that's because a lot of people just don't reach out and say, hey, I want to let you know that one thing you said to me yesterday, it stayed in my mind and it's really helped me out and it's kept me going. But we just don't do that sometimes. And we're like, oh, they probably know. And it's like, no, everyone really matters. Like, there's a reason you're here. And, you know, I feel like when you just like completely look past the reason why you're here, while you know, do things really wrong and you stray from your soul's path, then you get plucked out, or you get, you know, like a block in your way. And that block sometimes is someone dying, or that block is everything falling apart. And then you, like, you know, what comes after is what you were supposed to do, because without that big thing that entered your life, whether it was through God, whether it's just like life or whatever, fuck, I lost my train of thought. But it happens.
It's meant to be.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Yeah. So wait. What's the Bhagavad? How do you say this?
Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, how did you start? What is this called? This is called, so the first language was called Sanskrit, right?
Sanskrit, yeah.
Sanskrit. So all of this stuff was in those texts, and this is like where like yoga comes from and stuff, right? Like they say, this is where the pose is. Okay, tell me, like.
Well, disclaimer, I am not an expert.
Okay, yeah, no, we are not.
No one come from me.
Yeah, no, just,
but
yeah.
we're all here.
And I don't mean,
share.
Of course, yeah. But I've seen you talk about this stuff. You're studying this stuff, right? You've been studying this. You're currently still studying. Is there something called this? What is this called?
This life.
Like what is it that you're studying?
Life. So what my actual studies is called is Ayurveda, right?
Ayurveda.
And the word itself is so important because Veda is what it's all about. So like Sanskrit, it's just a language. It's actually like one of the, if not the most ancient language in all of human like knowledge. Vedic society, which is where like the Vedas come from. Vedas are these ancient texts in from these like the years BC. I think the Rig Veda is the most ancient text. I think it's like 10,000 years old or something like that. Maybe 7,000 like that. And it's like one of my textbooks technically that I should be like, I have not read it because I don't speak
And it's
Sanskrit.
Translated from this.
And that's the crazy part is that there's so many interpretations. These languages are so ancient that it's like a person's interpretation of it. You'll read one interpretation in translation and then another one, and then you'll get two different types of like understandings from these ancient texts.
Wow.
And it's like, I can't say that I'm learning it. I am like just at like I feel like I know nothing, even though I know a lot. Because it is just,
you're just like at the base of this huge mountain.
Never ending knowledge. Like if we talk about yoga, like yoga is like where we started this conversation.
Yeah.
It's like the sister science of Ayurveda, and Ayurveda, what I'm studying is more like the science of life. That's what it translates to. Veda is life, Ayur is life, and Veda is knowledge. Wow. So Ayurveda means the science of life, like the knowledge of it.
Of life.
And we study the medical aspects of like the human body, the plants, like herbalism, things like that. And yoga is the sister science of it. So the movement aspect of like healing the body, like you said, like you heal trauma through movement. And that's, they're like interrelated. So yoga is like my next big like thing that I want to go into in terms of like studying it. I've read the...
You don't want to practice it?
I do. I do. My friend has a... yoga school in Costa Rica.
Oh,
so
really?
I really want to go and like do it, like at least a 200-hour. Because
me too. I really want to get certified and become a teacher. Yeah, of course.
And it's just amazing. Like I am those types of people. I like eat up that knowledge. Like I am such a curious person in terms of like where we come from. What are we? How do we use this device that I call the human body? Yeah. And like nothing has in my life brought me closer to that understanding more than like Ayurveda, yoga. And so that's what I'm like on this path for. I feel like I didn't even choose it. Like the world just pushed me there when I was looking for answers. And so like here we are. Wow. That is so cool. It's crazy. And you've been like studying this for how long? Or it's going to be 3 years. Wow. I remember. And recently I saw your stories and I saw you talking about Krishna. Krishna is... There's just so many... it's a Hindu deity, right? Yes. And it's like one of the most powerful ones or something like that, right? Well, like in Hinduism, there's just so many layers and things to peel away. And Ayurveda is not... I can't say it's like not related to Hinduism because it definitely is at its core. But he wants to talk too. He wants to be here. Dexter's a part of this podcast. You just can't see him. He's like confused right now. He's like, "Do you want me on the fucking pod or not, bro?" No, bro. Go to home. If you hear in the background, there's a dog. Okay, and he's a little itchy right now, but he's gonna make it through, and we're all gonna make it through. Yeah. There you go.
So yeah, dude.
But Krishna is, he's cool. I can't say he's not a deity. He might be a god. He is definitely enlightened. So like something very cool that, well, we'll talk about Hawaii.
Yes.
But something amazing that I found out in Hawaii, like a revelation, something that just like a moment, like explosion in your brain. I went to this museum right across my house, and Hawaii is like this island in the middle of the ocean.
Do you remember?
Honolulu Museum of Art.
Of art.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Honolulu Museum of Art, and there's all these like Asian pieces, like art, like all these beautiful, like amazing, like from the 1300s.
From Japan?
From Japan, from all of Asia, like India, China.
Wow.
And all of these like huge sculptures of Krishna and beautiful paintings. And something insane that I had never understood was why these people were depicted as blue. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen some of these deities in Indian philosophy be depicted as blue. And I was like, who are these blue people? Like, right? Like some people say they were aliens, blah, blah, blah. But one of the descriptions in the art said that's how they depicted them as being enlightened. I don't know if you've seen saints have this little like
hue,
this little what is that called? Like the thing that
the halo.
The halo. So that's how like in Asian culture they depicted the enlightened ones as like, and enlightenment just means someone that has like become like awakened, that inner awareness or that self within.
Wow.
Those people that are no longer operating from like an ego basis or like a basis of like survival. They're just like enlightened, and Krishna was one of them. And so he is like the protagonist, I think, of the Bhagavad Gita with Arjuna, who is this other guy. And Krishna is basically like showing him the way. And the Bhagavad Gita is like a beautiful, beautiful text, ancient text of Hinduism, of the Vedas. Teaches you how to be a righteous human being.
Wow.
Just, one of those.
I need to get my hands on that and read it for sure. That is so cool. That is amazing.
It's very, very, it's beautiful, honestly. I've read it. I've listened to it. I continue to go back to it just because it just speaks to you, like no one, like we're born
like,
and
kind of like summarize it of thing.
Summarize it, yeah.
Like,
so the path to righteousness is like this idea that like,
spoiler alert. Sorry.
Very much spoiler alert.
Yeah. Give it all.
It's just kind of like humans, we don't know what we're doing in this world. We can either be like led astray or we're guided by good or evil. And like, we just have this nature to us. And basically like this book just starts in the middle of the action. It's like in the battlefield. Wow. Basically that's like the first in the battlefield. My type of book for sure.
I get lost quick.
Literally. And it's like Arjuna having this inner battle with himself because he can't bring himself to go to war against like whoever he's going to war against, right? And so you find out that the people he's going to war against is his own family, his own cousins, uncles, brothers, whatever. And Krishna, who is the Lord, right, in the story, is guiding Arjuna to kind of like not tell him how to go forth, but to kind of help Arjuna become his own master, like his own inner guidance system, right? Like the Buddha, like find that knowledge within. He's not telling him what to do, but he kind of guides him, questions him, kind of like a coach, I guess. If you could dumb it down to our terms. Yeah. Coaching him. But I guess he's kind of telling him, like the righteous way, because Arjuna, who is righteous, he has this inner nature of goodness, can't bring himself to, like, he's asking Krishna, like, how can I bring myself to battle against my own family, my own kin? And Krishna tells him, like it, and then you get this backstory about how it's his family that want to like started war in order to gain power, in order to gain, self, like very egotistical need type of like self value, not like for the value, like there was no reason for this war to happen, and Krishna just kind of like illuminates that, and Arjuna just can't bring himself to do it. And it's like really a story about like the internal battle that we all have at all moments in time. And it's so like, it's like a revelation, because it could really be, you could read this at any time in your life and really like get so much out of it, because it's so relatable.
Wow.
We all face...
So many people are like, you know, judgment towards it. Oh, freaking Hindu weird stuff. Like,
no, and
this
and
is like basically almost in all of us. If we're all humans, this is like, you know, we're all basically one. We're all family. If you think about it, we all came from one ancestor.
Family is
you know,
corrupt. If you love ancient texts, you'll learn that humanity has been suffering through the corruption of our own human nature for like since the beginning.
Wow.
And then it just teaches you how to go through that, and so like throughout the story, Krishna kind of like debates with Arjuna and helps him and then at one point in the story, he kind of reveals like the secrets of the universe to Arjuna, and Arjuna is kind of like not fully trusting of Krishna, and then when Krishna reveals, he gives him like a vision of how like all of like how the universe came to be.
Wow.
Arjuna's just like, okay, I trust you.
Did he have an explanation of what he thought, like what he said the universe, how it came to be? What do they believe? Like
this podcast isn't long enough. We can't be here forever. It's just basically like, and that's the Vedas. Like, imagine like when I started learning Ayurveda, I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Wow. How did you start? Like, was it a book?
I just was brought to it.
And you just...
I don't even know.
Wow.
I have a very curious mind, and I feel like I'm constantly being pulled towards things that are like in my path. A long time ago, I kind of like surrendered when I was like so lost, and like some of like the most, like, I would say I've had very multiple like rock bottom moments where you're just kind of like, holy shit, what's happening? Yeah. You know, but
that's usually when it gets better.
But in that moment, I literally just told, whether it's God, the universe, to me, they're kind of interchangeable. I was like,
wow, that's a great way to put it. Me too. I feel like God is like heavy. Some people like identify with that. Some people are like, whoa, no, religion, Catholicism.
Your creator, source, whatever, you know, they're interchangeable to me. And I said, you know, and I was talking to the universe because I was more, not so much into like Christianity, Catholic, Bible stuff. I was more talking to the universe. I told
that's how I pray too.
Like, let your will be done through me. And I think there's a Christian prayer that goes like that. And this was like 4 years ago. This was before Planta. I had like my ego death. First ego death ever.
I had my ego death when I was like 12, but keep going.
Oh my God, dude. I can imagine that because it's heavy stuff.
And I lose my ego every time I fucking do yoga. I swear to God. You know, I walk in there with it so high and then I leave like humbled out. You know, like laid out.
The Yoga Sutras. Patanjali
is
the father of yoga.
What? How do I not know my father?
Okay. I have the book. You can have it.
Please. I'll write it down. I have my long list of, you know, and I have a bunch of books right there. I have them all, but I haven't, you know, gotten around to read them. That's just how I work.
One day you'll be called to it and you're like, you know, this is just life. Life is so weird. But
it is. No one really knows. Isn't that funny? No one really knows. Everyone's like, oh, this, oh, that. Fucking religion. Oh,
and
do
it's
this.
Nice to
get
not
a job.
Know, but I also think it's nice to discover like the little hidden pieces of like guidance that have been left to us in the world, because that's what Ayurveda is to me. It's like kind of like putting the puzzle pieces of like, okay, like no one was taught how to use your body, how to use the elements, because Ayurveda is a science based on the elements of the world.
Wow.
How to use herbs to cure your body, how to use food,
so Ayurveda is
medicine.
Hippie shit, you know? My dad's gonna be like, what's all that hippie shit? Cut your hair.
I mean, essentially, yes. It
nice. This is the stuff that I like. This is, you know, the stuff that I get called to. You know what? You want me to go towards what everyone else does? And, you know, like, I don't know. I just think that if you dream small, then you become like everyone else. But if you dream big, then you really set yourself apart from, you know, the crowd. And that's when you really get judged. No one understands you except you. You have to believe your delusional, you know, dreams until they become a reality. And once they become a reality, everyone's like, oh, wow, look, you did it good and stuff like that. But no one sees the upcoming. The upbringing is really, really hard. There's so much stuff that stacks against you. But that's where, you know, you're either going to come out on the other top, out on top on the other end or not, you know?
Yeah. The human experience is wild.
It is. It
and
really
it's so
is.
unique
What the
to
fuck
each
is
of us.
going on here? Who are we? What are we doing? Like, we're sitting down right now. It's beautiful. I love it. And I, even though I look past all of that, I do think about all that stuff. Just like every other human. You think there's other people that, really know how to hack their minds and their emotions and their attitudes. And I do firmly believe that, you think yourself into like your next your reality keeps building based off of what you tell yourself, based off of what you think. And that's really hard to, do when like everything is down, you're fucking just in a corner in your room or something like that. All the lights are off. You're just like, fuck, like, what is this? So how are you going to be like, oh yeah, like I'm good now. But if you can find any way to do it, maybe it's not just like plainly telling yourself that. Maybe it's like doing some things that, help you get to that, point. I think moving is really important. You think I don't like to go to yoga like that. Like it's work. I don't like to be there in uncomfortable positions in a really hot room where everything's sweating out of me. And by the end of the class, I want to quit, but I know that I'm stronger than that, and I can push past that. And it's like, I feel like it's, people think that yoga is like, oh, look at this, and that's my problem. I'm really noticing as I'm speaking that I care about what other people think about me, and if I just let that go a little bit more, I'd become more myself, and I'm really myself. I mean, you know me. I haven't really changed since the last time we saw each other.
You have. Can I just say
okay.
You have?
All right,
when
good.
I met you, you were like the cutest little... I just want to like...
I'm still the cutest.
No, you have literally like when I like whenever I came back from Hawaii and we like talked.
We need to
Miguel
segue to Hawaii soon.
Is becoming like you're becoming such a fine man. Like
nice.
Before
Thank
when
you so
I met
much.
you, I was like little boy, like
little
cute
I'm
little
still
vegan
a little
boy.
fucking
Like,
boy.
but I feel like now you've just like elevated to like become like you're like you said you're searching for your purpose. And I feel like becoming that.
I'm getting close.
Yeah, and we're all always getting close. But like that shift from like when I used to call myself a girl, like I really identify with it anymore. I'm like becoming a woman. Like
I think I'm a boy, but I know I'm not a fucking man yet.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm really, really trying as, I guess not David Goggins hard. I'm not like wake up at 5 and fucking go. I'm a little bit more chill. I like to, take it easy. I like a work-life balance too, because fuck, what if my whole life was like shave your head, fucking run all the time, and then fucking I'm like everything's great, and then a bridge that I'm on falls. It's like, wow, look at this person. You didn't take that trip when all your friends wanted to go, and you probably shouldn't have gone in that moment to take that trip, but you said fuck it, and you rode the roller coaster, and you know what? You didn't die. You're back here. Everything is fine. Mm-hmm. Taking those risks sometimes, man, is like part of like, I feel like God's watching or whatever, and he's putting this thing in front of you. Yeah, he is always watching, and he's, but he's putting this thing in front of you, and he's like, let's see where he's at, and on this, because we come here, we send ourselves here. I think, this is what this is for. The angel before we get sent seals us right here. I forget what this is called, but I don't know if you ever read the book that we interchanged the soul's code. I think you still have it.
I do. I brought it back with me from Hawaii.
No way.
And I thought about you. Yes.
No way.
I literally looked up that book because, of course, you move across the ocean. You can only bring so much back with you.
Wow.
I brought
all
it
right.
back.
Perfect. We're getting into Hawaii.
I thought about bringing it today,
Wow.
When I was getting ready, I was like, where is
you
it?
Should've.
And then
Fuck it. Cool. So search up the soul's code in search of character and calling. Mm-hmm. Great book. But let's segue into Hawaii. So everything. Me and Daniela, we know each other from Planta. Planta's a vegan restaurant. Super spiritual person. I'm spiritual. Obviously, you see the fucking connection, everything happening. You've been always on a really cool, different path. You've been calm, eclectic, and cool. And everything was transitioning at Planta. You were the sushi chef. You were always so nice and cool.
Back then?
Yeah, and still now. But it was fun when because the restaurant bites. So you gotta take the bites and bite back sometimes. So it was really funny to see you cross over your edge, like chef and all that shit. That I really love that restaurant.
Witnessed that?
Yeah. I really love the picture. You have to send it to me at the end of this podcast. I'm gonna put it at the end, and it's the one with like you have chocolate like all over your like.
We talk about this often.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yes.
Duh, that was like a funniest moment ever.
Kitchen.
It's
like chaos, and you just gotta love the you gotta be the like like find the fun in it, because that picture, to me, I talked to Jason about it. We talked about it the other day.
No way.
I was like, he's like, my best moment is turning around and just seeing you bathed in chocolate in the craziest, most crazy night that we've had. Yeah. And I'm just laughing.
397 covers type shit. Yeah.
And you know, like, life is just funny. Like, in those moments that you're just like, of course.
Yeah.
You know, like,
you can only just laugh. And maybe, you know, and this is a quote that has stuck with me, and it's that you don't have to wait for everything to be okay to live your life. And that is so fucking true, because, you know, we have X amount of days. Let's say we have 39,747 days, you know, and those are the days that we have. So what, you're going to live half of those or even one of those, you know, choosing, because it's all just a choice. Everything is just about how you react to it and how much you're going to let yourself enjoy your life or not. And sometimes other people around you and just, you know, society, and we're living in 2024. 2024 is very concrete, fucking matrix, fucking soul sucking, like fucking traffic and all that shit, you know? So it's hard. That's why a lot of people are like, oh, I just want to fucking go to the trees, you know, leave me alone. They're going to die in a month by a poisonous snake or something. But, you know, maybe they had a good time on the way out. But, so, yeah, we definitely got to segue into Hawaii.
We're going Hawaii.
Yeah, we're segueing into Hawaii. So, yeah, you were saying bye to everyone, you know, and I was really like watching.
In Hawaii.
Yeah, I was in Hawaii. Yeah. And I was asking you about it when, that's right, I went Hawaii. Hawaii's.
What was Hawaii to you?
Oh, like, it was a fucking rainbow. That's what it was. It was like, wow. Honestly, though, every one of my trips are like tattoos in my soul that are always going to stay in my backpack. And I come back totally different. Like, changed. Everything that I'm missing gets filled when I travel. And that's why traveling is my number one priority. And yeah, I have my priorities fucked up. I shouldn't be going off here, going off there. But you know what? I value experience over money, and what, you know, if I can squeeze my way through it, and if I don't die, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to take the opportunity, and I'm going to go.
I think I read like one of I used to think that way too, and I cannot quote by word, but like a lot Alan Watts, like, such a fan.
Alan Watts, Terrence McKenna, those are like my two gods.
And he said, like, we've confused wealth with like money, and like, what is wealth? Like, is it really, like, I get that being financially free and all of these things are important, but like, wealth, like, to be wealthy on like a soul level and like on a human level and an experience level, like
how you understand things, how you perceive things, how you know, I think, you know, a lot of the stuff that, you know, not judging or putting anyone out there, I'm just like everyone else, but I try hard to beat like myself in these things that everyone has, you know, like social anxiety, depression, you know, those types of stuff. So I really feel all those things, but I feel them fully, and I analyze them, and, you know, I just choose to work on them. I work on all that stuff, and I have been doing, and too, you know, I'm just a rad soul. Like, I just spawned in this life, and I was always like, like fucking digging holes and going on roller coasters and just living my life and all that stuff. So you were saying bye to Hawaii, to everyone in Hawaii. You were saying bye to everyone at Planta. Everyone's going to miss you. And you were going through this really long process on moving. Moving is hard. You know, you did that.
Across the ocean.
So let's start. Go where, you know, Planta, it was like, say your last day at Planta. Was I there for you? Like,
I think you were still in Hawaii.
When you were, oh
like,
my
I
God.
think it was like an interchange.
That's right.
Like, you went the week before I
Yes, that's right.
I think we were trying to meet up.
Yeah, but
Hawaii,
it wasn't working out. Yeah.
It's okay. Sometimes it's just like that.
Now look, it needed to be here. You know, But
Hawaii, like, the reason like, you know me, I wanted to, like you said, I think we said it here, that I started my first kitchen job at Planta. I like left like you, I didn't know what I was doing. I went to college. I didn't have an idea. I always wanted to be in health. I wanted to be a doctor, actually, and the medical industry completely disappointed me in every way. It's I worked as a medical assistant doing surgeries with doctors at 20 years old, 19, and I hated it. And after that, I just went into like this. In college, I went from like bio to studying nutrition to studying psych, and I ended up graduating with like all these things that like made no sense to me.
Congrats. I know it takes hard work and all that stuff.
And I was so confused and like just lost. And so I had always wanted to be a chef when I was little, but then I went vegan.
From a doctor to a chef. Yeah.
And you will not remember this moment later on when we talk about Ayurveda, because food is medicine in Ayurveda. And I can...
food is literally... You are what you eat. Literally. It's literally basic fucking chemistry, right? Like, literally. You
become the particles that you are ingesting. It is really that simple.
That's why I was, in the book that I have in my book bag, the first things, it's like I was writing down what I was putting in my body. So then when I would read it, I would be proud of myself. It's like, oh, a soda and a pizza and a this and a that and McDonald's. It's just like, whoa. And I was really trying to be alkaline, vegan, and like detox my body and do like fast and stuff like that. But I don't know. I stopped putting so much energy and time and effort because it is not an easy route to like achieve perfect health. Because it's not just like you being vegan. That's, a lot of people do it for the animals and everything. I did it for everything, all of everything. I am, but I guess one of the most attractive reasons was for me to be fully functional in my body and like have full like health. I wanted to be at the 100%, and I felt like that's what was needed, but obviously it's hard, especially when that was booming, there was like, all this fake meat and like all that stuff, like Beyond Burgers and Beyond Sausages. And
is it crazy how like we awaken to this afterwards? Because I've awakened to this. I'm no longer vegan. I'm vegetarian now. Whatever.
Wait, what? I thought you were eating burgers and shit, bro.
No, sorry.
Damn it. No, it's okay.
I don't even like cheese. It makes me feel awful. I go off of like my body is like my teacher. Yeah. And it just, and we're all
good that you listen to yourself. A lot of people do not listen to themselves. So.
I mean, they do, but it's hard, dude. The mind has a whole...
So many people have different battles that they're going through.
It's like in Ayurveda, one of the principles is like the mistake of the intellect is what causes all disease. And the intellect is like this aspect of humanness that like we all have a mind. Like your dog has a mind. All animals have a mind.
He ain't got shit. Kidding. He just has the best mind in the world.
He's like just laughing at us. But humans have an ego. We understand. We have an intellect, right? And it's that mistaken intellect that doesn't identify with like what it is, like that feedback, internal awareness, that intelligence of your body. When you stop listening to it and you start just listening to the world, right? Like the senses, like the taste, like all these tastes. Like when you start establishing that as like truth, then disease arises because you start eating crap. You start listening to things that you like, like vibrations, sounds, like you said, words, and it is very deep. It goes deep, and I can't talk so much about it because I don't know much about a lot of it. But yeah, doing things, touching, like there's the way that we are, and so that mistaken intellect is what causes like so many bad things in our lives and in our bodies and in our health. But yeah, talking about food being medicine. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Why?
I have no idea. Don't ask me, dude. I'm not the host of this podcast.
Who is?
God is. I don't know.
Well, we're talking about Hawaii. How we got to Hawaii and Planta.
So yeah, how was Hawaii? I think you were basically saying like what Hawaii was to you and.
What was Hawaii to you? And yeah, I mean, all your experiences are. I mean, I feel like I lived 30,000 different lives in Hawaii.
Oh my God.
It was
your pictures from there are like it's
home.
Really?
Feels
wow.
Like home.
Really?
Miami never felt like home. I'm not
really?
From here. Yeah.
You're not from here?
I was born in Peru.
Get out of my house. I only invite 305ians.
Americans.
I invite Peruvians. What? I love Peru, even though I haven't been. But damn, I want to go to like Machu Picchu and all the tourist spots, whatever. Fucking sue me. Yeah, so you were born in Peru, really? Yeah. And when did you come to... Did you come to Florida or...
The U.S., yeah.
The U.S.?
When I was 11.
Really? So your whole upbringing... Yeah, your brother as well?
Yeah, well, he's a little younger, so he doesn't... I mean, I feel like...
But he was born there too?
Yeah.
Where in Peru were you guys born and live? Huh?
Lima,
Peru. Wow. How was it?
It was magical. I am so blessed to have had the childhood I had, because I know people from here, and I compare now as an adult my childhood versus theirs. And
so you're straight Peruvian.
Never, yeah.
Do you go back? Have you gone back?
I've gone back once, and I didn't want to come back. That's why I haven't come back again.
Oh, you didn't want to come back?
I didn't want to come back here. It's just a sacred place. Like, I am such a person.
Sacred
I feel
place.
Energies. And like I said, like, Hawaii's home because it reminded me of that. And I mean, when you went to Hawaii, did you get to interact with any Hawaiians? Any of the like native Hawaiians?
Dude, I'm doing a podcast right now. I walk on the street. I'm like, hi, hello, hello, hi, hello.
I hope you did, because they're like the most wonderful people.
The best. To the point where we were hanging out with people, meeting people. Oh, we're going out here tonight. Let's meet up. And we were involved with the Hawaiian people. Man, I missed the accent. I forgot. Imagine
pigeon.
Imagine you came back with it. That would have been so weird.
Dude, for a little bit, you kind of like do pick it up because you just want to be involved. When you love the culture, like, you can't go somewhere and like just think that you're going to impose your culture. No, like, you have to acclimate. And like, I became Asian. Like, I started eating with chopsticks because most of Hawaii is having Hawaiian and a lot of
Because it's so close to
there.
Japan, right?
Japan, like, and China and Taiwan and like all that Asia, all those countries from Asia. And I met so many people.
You picked up your bags.
Just went.
And you picked up your
I didn't think I was coming back.
You picked up your bags and you brought your cat.
I took my cat. Yeah.
And you brought it back.
Yes, she's back too.
Nice. She's like, fuck, finally I'm back home.
You know you're committed to moving somewhere when you take your little fur babies with you.
Yeah.
That's hard, dude.
That's super hard.
It cost me like 3 times what it like cost to move myself to move her over there.
Wow.
Because of just loss and shit. But I was committed. I was like, I'm chasing my dreams. I want to become a chef.
I remember
That's what we were
that.
talking about.
Yes.
The college stuff. Okay, so wanted to become a chef, and then I was like, in Planta, my first job as a cook. I actually wanted to go to culinary school, and this is like the where I kind of was telling you my ego death. Like, I asked the universe, like, let your will be done through me. You know what I like, so like, please, like, if you can tailor it a little bit to my experience, but like, you know, like, what you want be done through me. And I have always been a person of service, and so this is where I was discovering my spiritual self, my life, and I wanted to connect with food. I wanted to incorporate health into food, but I wanted to do it in a fun way. I wanted to like my dream was to make this like Michelin star restaurant that was like, come experience nature on a plate, like an experience, right?
Dude, write that down. Thing. That's amazing, bro. Could you imagine? Like, you could imagine, and one day that can happen.
And I have like this.
You have an awesome like service. You know, you're not one of those chefs that's a fucking asshole and hates being in there. You have passion for the food, and that's what sets you apart. And you're a pleasure to work with. And the chefs that really like what they're doing are pleasures to work with. The ones that hate their lives and shouldn't be in there. Chef, could you torch this roll a little bit more? I took it to the table, and they don't. Oh, fucking take it back to the table. Tell them I torch. It's like,
it's crazy. It's
like you guys don't You guys don't understand why you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be here for these people.
For this, and for the torch to be perfect, so that the person can like be like have this experience.
The point of a restaurant as an owner is to make it the best fucking restaurant ever, probably. Or maybe some of them is just purely make money, and that is what a lot of thing is, and just get by weak ingredients and stuff. But there's I have dined at, I went to this restaurant called Ox in Iceland.
You've been to Iceland? Okay.
I almost felt I only went to Iceland for 1 month, and it was
only for 1 month. Okay.
That was a lot. Shout out to Ernesto. We really did that big. We really, really did that big. And I really regret, and I don't regret it, but it would have been nice if I had a cameraman, because I wasn't going to be that cameraman. I was there to enjoy it. And I pull out my phone and I take pictures and stuff, and I document it as best as possible. But I'm more present than, my phone is an enhancement, and my social media is an enhancement. Like, I know it's a double-edged sword, and I'm using the right end of the stick. I think I'm really I'm trying to do the social media stuff. I'm trying to become like an online presence, and I'm trying to put myself out there to connect with other people who are eclectic and fun and have podcasts. And I want to be a guest on a podcast. Like, what? Turn the tables around, I want to go on someone else's podcast.
I want someone to interview you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Miguel.
Yeah, definitely. That shit needs to be put on Patreon though. Not for the whole world. It's like, can kids watch this? No! I'm still a kid. I'm still a fucking kid. But keep going. I'm so sorry.
No.
You don't know how many times I'm like,
It's like-
I want to say something, but then I know it turns into this whole other thing. But I'm so happy that you reached that tangent of what you said you were a chef and all that
We'll
stuff you
always
said.
come back to it.
Yeah.
I go on 30,000 tangents when I want to talk and say something, and then I never said what I wanted to say to begin with. But it's fine, because life is just flowing through us. But
Wow.
okay, chef.
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 Yeah, chef.
Yes.
Oui, chef. This is my dream chef.
So we come to the dream of being a chef. And so whatever, ego, death, ask the universe, I come to Planta, work my first job. Okay, got the skills down. I'm able to go to a restaurant now, have this resume, whatever. My goal with Hawaii was to learn Japanese cuisine because I'm fascinated by anime. I took Japanese in school. I was so into anime that I took Japanese for 3 years in high school.
Wow.
Just to like, 'cause I was
Ichi, sanchi, goru,
a
si,
weeb, yes, literally, hi. Yes. Hi. But so, and I was fast. I love sushi. So that's what I wanted to train. And I feel like when you're a cook, when you're a chef, you're getting into that lifestyle. You need to develop knife skills. I didn't go to culinary school. So that's what I wanted to train in. I found a vegan restaurant. And at the time I was, with my ex-partner, and we were both in search of like our next thing. And so he also wanted this island life, like this. He just wanted something different. We didn't want to be in Miami anymore. This was also like COVID time. So it was like dark here. We didn't like it, just life was so weird back then. And so we left. We picked up within a month, dude. I think it took a month. And he was, I would say, like I was telling you, it takes me a little bit of time to like I don't have that force that like propels me. But my partner at the time, he like was like, yep, we're going. And I was like, okay. And then all I needed was some assurance.
Need
that,
more
like,
people like you guys.
It's hard though. It's hard. When I got there, I imagined like I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything. And I had just this idea of what I wanted. And I had like an Instagram of a restaurant that I wanted to work at.
Tane
literally,
vegan?
Tane.
Tane.
Izakaya. Shout out Chef
Tane.
Kin. Chef Kin, my father, Papa.
I
Papa
think
Chef.
I was following them like without knowing that
Without
you worked
knowing?
there and shit like that
Oh
because
my God.
yeah.
Please, everyone, go visit Tane. They got shout out Tane. But so I literally show up to this like place with my little knife bag. Like I had sent them a bunch of like emails. No one responded to me, of course. And it's like a Craigslist.
Persistence.
And like in Miami, you think like the world is so different to us here. We think like you need to be the most, you need to have the most, you need to like have all these things. I show up to this like guy's restaurant, literally like this Asian guy in like a black t-shirt, and I'm like, oh, can I talk to the chef? And he's like, yeah, come in. And it's like he barely speaks English, and all these things. I'm like, oh, so like, do you work here? He's like, yeah. And sit. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a mistake. I'm like freaking out internally, and I'm like, oh my, okay, just shut up, Daniella. Like it's okay. You know what? Like worst that can happen is that you don't get it.
Literally,
whatever.
Literally.
And he's like, so why you want to work here? And I was like, are you like, do you work here? You're like, what are you here? The sous chef? He's like, I am the chef. Yeah, the owner. I own Tane. And I'm like, oh shit, this is the owner. What is happening? And so he like one of the things that like revealed kind of like that this was my path was the fact that my chef, I also, when I have interviews, I also like not only is this person like job employer interviewing me, I'm also interviewing them to see if I fit into this job, because I value my life, and I've had a lot of really shitty jobs. And I think it's important for all people to know that like you are also interviewing your employer when you're in an interview, right?
To see.
Yeah, to see if you fit in, to see what they're about, like, you know. And I asked him like, so why did you make this restaurant? Are you vegan? Like what happened? And he laughed, and he just like looked up, and he was like, oh, you know, the universe just keeps bringing me back here. And I was like, that's interesting. This is like a 40-year-old Chinese man that I've never met talking to me about the universe. And,
wow.
And back then, the universe was all I had, honestly. I had faith in the universe, and that's what was propelling me forward to do all these crazy things, like leaving all my family and everyone I knew behind and going to this island to search for a dream. And so the universe, and I was like, oh, okay. So he told me to like just come in, whatever, did a stage, the whole thing of cooks. And so I got the job. And I got the job, not in sushi, no. It was like bottom of the the bottom. I wasn't
You gotta
washing
prove
dishes,
yourself.
but I was working in the kitchen. I wasn't at the sushi bar yet. And
You're humble.
Yeah,
You're
you gotta earn it. Like, and it's a beautiful. It's not this thing of like, I feel like Americans have become very like, I don't know. It's just become very weird. Like you shouldn't earn things, and you should. I feel like it was beautiful for me
Start
to be
at the bottom. Start washing dishes. Start cleaning fucking tires, and then
literally. And then we had to clean our kitchen every single night. Like there was no crew. Like people here that you employ a whole service crew. No. We were getting in there mopping. That's how you know if you're like making a mess during service. You're cleaning that shit up at the end of the night.
Ugh.
So it's like, it just gives you so much responsibility over your own work. It makes you love the things that you use. We had a small kitchen and we loved our chef. My chef, like I said, is like still like to this day, I still text him, still talk to him. Hold him very dearly in my heart. He's changed me as a person.
Wow.
And I left Tane. I went back to Tane. I went through all the stations in Tane in the back. There were 3 different stations. I learned the kitchen the way that he wanted me to learn it, because it was his vision on a plate. And then, after a year, he was like, Danny, I want you at the sushi bar with me. Like after the new year, let's start. And I was like, oh my God, like a dream, like a full circle, what I literally came to Hawaii for. And it seems so stupid because I'm not even a chef anymore.
No, you'll still always be a chef.
I'll always be, I'll always have.
But sometimes you can move away from it and go search. You don't always have to be one thing. You can hit your full spectrum of the things that you want to. I'm very open to like, I'm this. I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I'm a podcaster. I'm a restaurant worker. I'm this. I'm that. So I embrace all those like hats, that people put on you.
It's all bringing us closer to like our. I don't think we all have like this end goal thing, like we made it, that stereotypical, like, oh, you'll, I don't think you'll ever get there because I feel like when you get somewhere, you always have something else pulling you forward. And it's just this like beautiful interplay of like, just you like talking to life. Like, I feel like life is a conversation. Like I'm constantly talking to like, or communing with like the world, my life. Like I'm constantly in this this sacred relationship with like, what I'm doing, what's bringing me forward, what's calling to me, what's like, and it's a very beautiful experience. It's a very beautiful relationship. And that's what I was experiencing in Hawaii. And so when I learned sushi, worked in sushi for a whole year, and like another year of being in Hawaii, beautiful experiences, like knowing my chef has changed me as a human. And it was because of him that I realized, like, just because, I mean, and this goes back to like how our society works. Like he made me realize I didn't want to be a chef, because at least not by those standards of like what what it's like to be a chef. Chefs work 16-hour days. My chef was opening up the restaurant. He was not, and this is like where you see real art, because he didn't have to work 16-hour days, but he also didn't want to sacrifice, like, he didn't
quality
get
in his restaurant.
Quality. He went to Chinatown every couple days to get all of his ingredients by hand.
Wow.
He had a big ass truck, would pull up, get every single ingredient, every single vegetable, every single thing for the restaurant, like hand picked by him. Like there was no way that like a Cisco standard like was gonna come in and drop off a bunch of boxes. Like no, that was like no way.
Wow.
So he did that. He
does
that
the
every
customer
day.
tastes.
You can see that like the moment you walk inside, and every day he was working.
It was the first spot you walked into in Hawaii
to work at.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Damn it.
It wasn't. The first one was it was like a startup guy, and imagine this guy wanted to like. I was contacted by like this one guy. My goal was Tane. Because
wow,
that was my dream.
You
that's where I saw myself growing, as a human being. You like can only like I seek growth in everything I do, and growth is like something that I'm not yet, right? Like I see what I am and I see what I can be, and so like this place is going to take me there. This other guy had like reached out to me, and I wanted kind of like a fallback, like just because
who doesn't? Yeah,
moving across the ocean is scary with no job, nothing. And so
wow,
this guy, this guy hit me up. I was doing pastry back then, and so
nice. I remember, matcha cheesecake. What?
Yeah, dude.
You'd always throw one on the corner over there on the end of service. I was like, yes.
Sorry,
Steven Salmon is gonna hear that.
But yeah, it was just this guy. He was in it for the money, and you could tell he buy stuff at Costco, not really do anything with it, like just put it on a plate, and it just didn't. It was like killing my soul. So I told him a couple days after, I was like, yeah, this is not for me, sorry. And this was where I was like showing up to Tanya with my knives and being like, I want to work here. Like I have literally wanted to work
that
here.
That gives me goosebumps.
From
dude.
like where like an I traveled an ocean to be here. Please take me.
Wow.
And my chef, like, you know, he's very like as an owner, imagine yourself having a restaurant and like knowing that just some human out there just traveled an ocean to just like learn from you. Like he really took me under his wing, and he's taught me so much.
Wow.
And
how was it leaving?
It was like, it pains me. I cried. He was the last person I saw.
3 years?
Yeah. He wanted to drop me to the airport. They did.
You don't
like
want to let go.
Celebration for me. No, he was like my father, and he has kids and a wife of his own. He's his own family, but you really become a family when you're working in this like environment, like
for a greater cause too. You guys
know what it's like to be a server and like to work in a restaurant in front of the house. It's like you become a little family. You're in this chaotic space. It's not professional. It's like very. I mean, you want to keep it professional sometimes, but it's very chaotic space where you're just being yourself. Like it's not like this persona. You're literally being who you are. Yeah. Sometimes in the most toxic ways, sometimes in the most healing ways, and you really learn how to. It was very trying, and I was blessed to get. You know, we went from talking about the chefs at Planta, I'm sorry, to this amazing man. Like everyone that I've worked with can agree that my chef is a saint. He is such a giving person, such a beautiful human being, has such good intentions and like, just like such a good person. And when this revelation came to me when I was moving out of Hawaii, because he was like, "What are you gonna do, Danny? Are you gonna like set up your own?" Like he really wanted me to like go for it.
He believed in you.
He did, and I was like, dude, I can't do 16-hour days. I want to one day. I also have other dreams.
Duh.
You know, like
pursue them.
Yeah.
And maybe while you're pursuing those, this one comes back to you, and then it fuses in its own way into the other things you do. And
maybe I'll do like little pop-up events, little experiences.
Hell yeah.
Ayurveda, you know, on a plate or something.
Wow.
So I have like all those beautiful like techniques and like those things, everything that you've learned, you'll always have with
100%. It's always there. Like it passed through your subconscious mind at least, you know, or your conscious mind, and it's in there.
But it was an adventure, and this is just like in the workplace, like personally, in friendships and relationships, on a personal level. I grew so much in Hawaii.
I feel it.
Why?
I just feel it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
It was very trying.
The last time I saw you was 3 years ago, and we were both working in this restaurant that was,
we were like in the space of like La La Land. We were like, we're vegan and the life is great. And the butterflies and the fairies. And
then you're like, Hawaii! Boom! Real life shit.
Crash.
Yeah.
But it was,
but you
I
didn't
would
die.
Not take it back.
Hell yeah.
Hell no. I would do it.
Are you alive? Okay, making sure.
So alive. I'm so alive. I feel so alive. I feel like the earth is my home. Like not my house. Like, you know, Miami doesn't feel like home, but I feel like every day is like, I feel like I'm home. I'm here. But Hawaii will forever be just like a magical place. It's just like nothing I can describe. It's like being on a hike, being on a mountaintop.
You were in Oahu?
Looking out at the ocean, looking out at like God's creations, the universe creations, you know. It's just like amazing to just see the sun and like have no people around you. I can't describe.
The magic of like waking up in that beautiful island. It's like not real. It's
And there's like over there's you're walking barefoot, you're in a sports bra, guys are shirtless. Yep. I never had a car over there. I was hauling my groceries back and forth from my apartment in a bike at first, the city bikes, then I had a moped. Like life was hard, but it was beautiful, and it was like every day was such an opportunity for like the next thing and the next thing. And I feel like
you were really living your life. Some people don't ever get to do that. Some people get taken care of forever, and forever they'll die like that. Oh. They never have to, you know, work to, you know, fucking pay for their next meal and like all that stuff. And
it was beautiful.
Work hours that you don't want to work, sacrifice things and plans that you don't want to because you're working, and you know, you really just have to.
It just made it so much more special, you know. But yeah. I had like such a beautiful time.
How come you left? Why? You You know, we were just
time. I mean,
time.
So many things in so many different
Yeah.
directions, reasons of why I left. But at the end of the day, when I like look back, I was supposed to leave at that time. I had
Yeah, of course. Duh. This is
so
your
many things
Yep.
going. But ultimately, in Ayurveda, in my studies, I have to go to Iowa for school once a semester to do clinical.
What's your school?
The name of the school?
Yeah.
MIU, Maharishi International University.
I didn't know you were actually going to a school
Yes,
for
dude.
the
It's a
spirituality
master's
stuff.
program.
Wait.
It's not a big school. I'm not just reading books, dude.
I'm sorry for not knowing, but now I know.
Please. I
Wow.
don't mean it like that.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Not that the other way is awesome, but I'm glad I understand now. That is so
Yeah.
cool. So you're taking a actual there's other people that are teaching you and showing you
Dude,
this.
allopathic medicine, American medicine is American medicine. It exists in other places in the world, but India, this Ayurveda
use,
is
like-
all there is.
So
That is their doctors. Like,
really,
I'm literally
like
studying
herbs
Indian
and
medicine.
fucking spices and
Yep,
shit.
No pharmaceuticals.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
And that's why their food is so
That's
fucking
why they're-
amazing.
That's why they're so healthy. And in China too. In China, they use traditional Chinese medicine.
Wow.
They use acupuncture. Acupuncture is
And
based
here
in
we're just like
traditional.
shove pills down your throat. You feel bad, dude. It's not because of the food you're eating. It's not because you're never getting any sunlight. It's not because you're in constant stress. It's not
It's our
because of.
society, dude.
I'm glad I don't align with everyone, dude. And I'm glad.
It's hard.
I'm like a warrior. I fight against it. I fight against it. And that's why we're sitting here right now, I think, to.
And you're one of the healthiest people I know.
I mean,
you
yeah,
look-
right. I do yoga,
You
bro.
look bright.
I do yoga.
You shine.
I just came back from yoga.
And that's
Thank you.
awesome. Yoga is amazing for you.
Yes.
For your
What do you
body.
know about yoga?
There's
Anything?
so much. I mean, I do know the philosophy of it.
What
I
is
don't
it?
know much about.
I don't know anything
the
about
poses.
yoga. Yeah, where do the poses come from? Like, what the fuck is up with all that shit?
So
Who made them?
The poses actually are supposed to, in a way, like, because when I was talking about like how yoga is a sister science to Ayurveda, it stimulates different parts of the body. If you think about it, like when you're holding a specific pose, it's actually stimulating a specific organ system, and it's shutting down another one. You're like
Wow.
bringing like force to one aspect of your body and relaxing another one. And then the breath, like prana is a thing in Ayurveda. The breath, the sacred breath, it's not just about oxygen, it's about bringing life into the body. And yoga, it's mostly, honestly, it started with meditation. It didn't really start with all these poses, and like the Americanization of yoga is a thing.
Yeah.
But it really is unifying like the dynamism of the world with the silent world. And it's like, that's where I'm a geek with philosophy, and that's why I started like learning about Ayurveda, because and that's the story that like Krishna tells Arjuna. That's what he reveals into his mind, the creation of the universe. And it's all of these energies, and it's basically like, if you can explain it in like science terms, I don't want to say the Big Bang because that's like materialism, but how the world was created. And it's like this silence, that there's like silence. Have you ever meditated and like transcended?
No. I'm sorry.
Okay, you need to. we're gonna talk about it. But it's the silence that exists like within everybody.
Wow.
The source of all life exists within you. That's called like the self within, right? The Atma. Brahma is like this the creation, the source, like consciousness, God, right?
Wow.
And then Atma is the inner experience of that. And in yoga, is basically meditation. Like the poses are like transitioning from pose to pose is the dynamism of nature, the infinite
Dynamism of it.
dynamism. Like the infinite possibilities of the world. You
The
know, if you
infinite
think about
downloadable possibilities.
literally. Yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
Literally the infinite downloadable, there you go, possibilities of, but it's true. Like you download that's part of like in like not Indian philosophy but Vedic understanding of what we are. It's an expression of consciousness come here to experience itself without knowing it. And that's where awareness comes from. That's where enlightenment comes from. You realize that you are not God, like you're not literal the God, but you have that source within you.
Yeah.
And like awakening to that is that term samadhi.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people talk about nowadays.
Samadhi. Is that?
And yoga brings you closer to that.
Yeah. Taz, my teacher, he brought this up and it was basically, yeah. Say what samadhi is.
Like
dictionary. Pull it up.
Oh, please don't quote. Like, I need to like find the sources. That's why I was like, should we plan this time?
Yeah,
Am I gonna be put on the spot?
Yeah. Well, this is the first one. You know, we can do another one. You know, but this is awesome.
I'll bring the.
You've been so interesting to talk to, dude. Oh my god,
You're so interesting.
So much.
I told you we could talk forever.
Yeah.
Talk for hours.
Wow.
But yeah, samadhi, that inner, I guess, like the awakening of knowing that you are source, like consciousness created everything, and it created the human being, and it gave us the ability to imagine, like, how do you experience yourself, right? Like, that's the whole part of like ego, right? Like we have an ego because it's like, I know what I am because I know what I'm not, like duality. Yoga, the literal definition of yoga in Sanskrit is yog, like the translation of it, and yog means unity.
Wow.
And it's like the unity of the separation, because at first, like, consciousness was all there was, and then in order to experience itself, it needed to separate itself, and then the experience of knowing is another aspect that you can just like have a trinity, like a third dimensional aspect to like the duality. But then realizing all of that, because you can forever be like unaware of the fact that you are like a child of God, you can say, in a way, or you come from source, or that you have this Atma within you. You can forever like live a life and not know, just, you know, living based on ego, based on whatever. But when you awaken to that and you live your life, you like you breathe, you sleep, you dream, and you live in this state of like a wakeful, like this transcendence. This like when you transcend in meditation, and you can
take it with you
when you're awake. That's what samadhi is, and it's beautiful. And I can't say that I'm there, but I have transcended in meditation, and let me tell you,
congrats.
It's not even like a congrats thing. It's like a wow, it's like a gift. It's like something that it is so like inherently human. Like every human can do it. Wow. And all you need is yourself. Like you literally need nothing. Like you there's no tools, no nothing. Like it is just do it, a being. And it's magical, and it's an experience to be had, definitely. And I've never really even meditated, you know? Oh my god, you should.
I know, I'm sorry.
Talk about this.
You meditate? Like, do you have like a regime that you meditate? You know, like it's like, oh, it's 4 p.m. I need to meditate.
I usually meditate when I wake up.
Wow. You
wake
just
up and
sit
I'm
there.
Like,
I don't give myself that time. I'm like, I'm up, I gotta go, I gotta this, I gotta that, I'm trying to be successful, I'm living in Miami. I get that. You know?
Mm-hmm. It was easier to meditate in Hawaii, to be honest. Wow. That ease and that peace and calm and like that gratitude.
And when you're on the edge of, you know, like the land in Hawaii, like like it's probably pretty, you don't hear a lot, you know, it's. You know.
I've been in like a beach on the edge of an island by myself. Like, wow. It's incredible. Because here, Miami's so saturated with people. Never really like experience anything on your own anymore. And especially like, did you go to Maui?
Yeah.
Yeah? You went to Maui?
No, if that's taking a flight.
Yeah.
No, I stayed on Oahu.
Okay. You'll go.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. You'll go. You can always come back.
I know. I'm at the joking part of the podcast. Go.
No, but it's just really amazing. Like I never thought I could feel cabin fever. I've never understood that.
What's that?
Like that feeling that you just gotta get out. You know what cabin fever is? When you're like stuck in a cabin
and you have a fever, so you just need to fucking take
go crazy.
Got it.
And go fucking crazy. That's what they used to call people that would be like segregated in the mountains. They're like in a cabin forever, and they're like they got cabin fever. They went crazy. But I can't say that I felt that way, but I could see myself coming from like such a high pace, like fast paced environment, like go. And I went to Maui the first time. It shocked me. It's like
it shooked me.
Shooketh to the core. I was like, and that's where all the Lahaina fires happened.
Wow.
Yeah. And
you're pronouncing it like a true Hawaiian.
Lahaina. No, I'm not actually.
They're all watching us like disrespect.
It's supposed to. I can't even say it. It's supposed to be Hawaii.
I
mean,
I'm Hawaiian, so Hawaii.
I try. But yeah. Oh, Hawaii will forever have a place in my heart. But I feel like that's where I want to go die. I want to like grow old, have kids there.
Wow.
And give back to the land, give back to the people, like give Aina, the Aina, the mother nature. Like it's a place where people are very connected to their environment.
Yes.
And I love that. I love that people are like revering mother nature. They're like amazed by it. They give back to the land. They celebrate the land. They celebrate each other.
They have luau's. They're
Happy Aloha Friday. Every Friday, Happy Aloha Friday. No matter where you go, people are wearing leis because why not? And I'm like,
wearing
wow,
leis.
Leis, yeah, little flowers. Self-made.
Their culture is so vibrant and strong and still connected. It's so beautiful. It's something that we all hate each other in like America. You know, there's no sense of like community or like, you know, how about driving out here? People drive and they want to kill you. They don't want to let you in. Like it's like
is it crazy?
We're gonna die before I let you fucking naturally merge in my lane. It's like you see a guy that's like a mile away. It's like this guy's gonna try to merge into this lane. No, I'm gonna speed up. I'm gonna like it's like it's really really
and
sickening.
Do you see the people like their faces? I laugh because like coming back from Hawaii and like people over there, they're so kind.
Yes,
like so much kindness. Like it's just like people like we belong to each other over there. And here when I came back, I have like brought back the aloha with me and I'm never letting it go.
Good. Don't.
But when I see people do that on the highway, I see their faces and they're like consumed by their anger and their like whatever is going on within them. And I'm looking at them and I'm like,
shit about people, but I feel bad about.
I feel so bad.
It sucks, man. Everyone is here to like find their, you know, their fucking calling, and you know when you do that, I feel like, you know, the things that come with it are very rewarding, and like it's not money, but it's like those feelings of openness, of togetherness, of like, you know, like true accomplishment and success and whatever it is that you wanted to achieve and you set out to do, you know. And
but honestly, I think that a lot of it has become self-inflicted because we don't need that much as humans. Like it's like that attachment, like the whole thing, the idea that like attachment is suffering, but attachment to like things that you really don't need. Like that's one of my favorite things to point out about Hawaii is the fact that like you like over there everyone calls each other brada, hey brada. And it's like this, you all like my favorite like thing is like imagining this like Hawaiian or Micronesian man to come pulling up and being like, yo brada, like what, like I just got this 2001 Toyota Tacoma, like you want to drive to North Shore and like shred some waves, dude. Like I'm not joking, that's literally how people are. They like show off the fact that they didn't have a car before and they're so blessed to have a 2000 like a 100,000 mile car that is in shambles, and they are like celebrating, like posting it on Facebook, posting it on Instagram. Like that's what they're so thankful for. And you come here and it's like
don't look at any of my bad stuff. Here's all the prettiest shit in my life. I can't really be myself on my Instagram because I have this person watching. I'm trying to compete with that person and this person. They're doing it better than me, even though I just started. So, you know, that's why you got to really let go. And man, I fuck with that, you know, and I feel like I've always been pretty humble, and I've always really like been okay to start from zero and just really actually try to practice and not care about how I look like or, you know, anything that I do. I ask questions, even though it sounds dumb. Until I understand it, I just ask questions, you know?
I gotta breathe.
Wow.
Breathe it in, breathe it out.
Yeah.
We are creating
something beautiful, man. Wow, this is really, really great.
The earth, dude. We are the next generations. I know some generations in the past have got it wrong. They did what they could with what they had, but I really believe that we are creating our earth. And you are one of the people that I've always like kept in my, you know, like you grow
apart from a lot of people and stuff, but there's those people that you're always like, hey, that person
always resonate, and your spirit, your vibe has always resonated.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
You're just that type of person. Yeah, like you get it.
There's nothing else here, man. Like I've shed everything, especially my ego at very young ages, and I've continued to do it.
It's crazy. 12?
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yes. The veil just completely dropped in front of.
It's my turn to interview you. No, but how? What
happened? Know, yeah. Let's just say I went on an experience at the age of 12 And, I basically got plucked out of the matrix and I saw everything from a different perspective. And when I got back, it was like, whoa, I just could never. Have you ever seen the movie They Live? No. So this guy, he puts on sunglasses, and there are sunglasses that make you see everything for what they truly are. And he puts on these sunglasses and he walks around and he just sees he sees the advertisement and it says consume and die. He just basically sees how everything. So I would go to the malls and stuff, and I'd see people working these mundane jobs after I just went through this insane experience of life and death and everything in between it, And ever since then, I just was really into it myself. I always kind of dreamed and went for my dreams because I basically have always understood that, there's a quote by Hunter S. Thompson, and I'll pull it up right here. And I love it so freaking much. And I think this is like my new motto in life. Hold on, Jamie, pull it up. What's your favorite movie?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, it would be lame. Spirited Away.
Spirited Away! Oh my God!
It is.
It is such a good movie. It really is.
There could be so many things that you could take away from there, but I feel very identified with that little girl in this journey. And yeah, that's how I've always seen myself. I have different types of favorite movies. I think on a main character, I guess, type of thing where I can see myself, like things that inspire me, things that feel like that's just my comfort movie. I can go any.
We all have our comfort movie.
That's mine.
Wow. I might watch it tonight. Again.
Me too. What's your favorite movie?
Forrest Gump.
Really?
No.
Oh.
It's one of them for sure.
Uh-huh.
Man, I have the longest list of movies. I am such a movie aficionado, But let me read this quote. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid and broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, wow, what a ride. I'm not trying to not get cut. Like, I'm willing to run through thorns and shit to get to, new places. I really want to use up all of my soul, all of my energy, I
remember one time I was doing one of my little Instagram conversations.
You be popping off. I'm like the only one that's watching.
I have a couple people.
Wow. I'm like, put everything away. Fucking Daniella's talking right now.
They're fun. I just feel like I'm talking to my friends.
Like, how hard it is? You know how hard it is to do that and put yourself out there and,
really?
Not worry about who judges you and stuff like that. And, oh, look at this girl. She's talking for, you click and
I don't
it's
give
just,
a shit, dude.
Thank you. So you doing that, you inspire others. You inspire me to and it's not that I don't care about but I choose not to in this moment, and I let myself channel like who I am and what I am, and I feel like it's necessary. I'm not, I don't think this is a selfish thing what I'm doing right here. It's like, I think it's more for us, everyone together for each other. Deep breath in, out the nose, exhale. Yoga. Ayurveda. So we've learned a lot. So you're an MIU. What's it called again?
Maharishi International University.
What's Maharishi? Is this
Maharishi means great seer.
Great seer?
Yeah, so the Maharishis, Maharishi is kind of like a title that you get if you are like this enlightened person in the Himalayas, like the great rishis. A rishi is it's a seer, right? Like there's all these monks in the Himalayas that devoted their life to like conscious, like the monks of the Buddha temples, right? Like they devote their life to that experience, to the self, to that inner transcendental awareness, living in that space, and they become rishis. Maharishi means great seer. So like one of those rishis was proclaimed a great seer because the Vedas also, side note, they were cognized. They were not like learned in meditation. And this is years of like first of all, this is like celibacy. You're not even eating garlic.
Boring.
Not for everyone. But you are not partaking in anything that is stimulating.
Wow.
You are 100% devoted.
All your
to, like,
energy is towards
inner diving in that space. And the Vedas, the Rig Veda, where all these things come from, they were cognized by these people, and so that's what it means. Maharishi means great seer, and they see the world. They see things that we don't see because we're so involved in ourselves in our own personalized, egotistical ways. And the ego isn't like, the ego, I don't know, I could say so many things about the ego, but...
What is the ego? I don't even know it. Like, what exactly is the ego?
What is the ego?
Let's search it up.
I think it goes mind, intellect, ego. Like, the ability, like, you got a mind, then you get an intellect, and then an ego. Or is it the other way around? I don't know, but...
So, may I?
Wait, yeah.
This is what this says.
Oh.
This is what some random phone thing says.
Mm-hmm.
The definition of ego: a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance.
Mm-hmm.
A psychoanalysis is the part of the mind that mediates between the conscious and the unconscious and is responsible for reality testing and a sense of personal identity.
Mm.
So when you lose it, you don't have a sense of this built-up personal identity that you've, adapted along your journey in life. Just become new, and it's like basically a clean slate.
Mm-hmm.
When you lose your ego. And that's why some people think it's healthy, because sometimes the person you become isn't the person who you're supposed to be.
Right.
And a reset is actually really healthy for you, because you can go from zero, you can be born again.
Yeah.
Why would you not be born again? Like, I feel like there's tools on this earth that, God has put here
Mm-hmm.
to use and utilize as medicine and everything like that. And they, I believe in psychedelic therapy, and there's there's already all these, trials and stuff like that proving how much these substances, help people with PTSD or people suffering where no other thing could have ever helped,
Crazy? I watched, we can't talk about these things. Or maybe we can. I watched the MK Ultra movie yesterday, and I am such a geek for conspiracies.
I was just listening to the Joe Rogan podcast.
About it?
Yeah. Wow.
I love the brain aspect of it, like the neurophysiological aspect of it, of psychedelics, because that's kind of where I want to fall into next, into the world of neuroscience and
wow.
the brain, and all.
I'm regurgitating this from the Joe Rogan podcast, but he had an amazing guest. Let's see who it is really quick. And he basically said, if you want to know why so many people are like behind this psychedelic movement and all this stuff, his name is Norman Olher. Really, really great stuff. Norman Olher is an author and screenwriter whose books include whatever. He has a bunch of books.
Mm-hmm.
Basically he was saying that, the reason behind and the reason people, promote these psychedelics is because it builds and it elongates your neuroplasticity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, neuroplasticity is basically, what it is? Like,
it's the neurons in your brain. Like, basically, some scientists said that like at 25, your brain stops developing, but which is neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is like the ability for new neurons to like connect,
develop,
grow, all these things.
Yes. So, and you take these experiences and you take them with you when, they're gone or when they're not prominent. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'm like, if it comes from the ground and it's not altered or touched in any way, then, it must be fucking our source, our creator that put it here for a reason. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah, they might be scary. They might show you things you don't want to see, but is it actually bad though? Is anything really bad if it doesn't harm you or kill you?
Mm-hmm.
And even is death a bad thing? No, maybe thoughtless and like tragedies and all that stuff, it sucks, but maybe they're just for a reason, and who knows, but man, I think that everyone should be more in tune with the fact that we will die, and a lot of more people would be like a little bit more themselves, a little bit more like, hey, like, I speak up when I first of all, when I don't understand something, like, wait, what? Like I ask, but yeah,
don't ever feel, like, I feel like we are constantly like teaching ourselves how to be human, teaching each other. I am the first person, especially since I like entered the realm of education,
That is so cool. Is it based in Florida or is it online or?
It's online, but I have to go to Iowa once a semester.
Wow, is that fun? Have you gone yet? Or?
Times. I love Iowa.
Really? What's in Iowa?
Nothing. Peace. Silence and peace. I literally come back.
Yo, that is so cool.
My spirit is clean.
When are you going to Iowa?
Actually, I have to go in December.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Mm-hmm. I've loved it. I am so thankful. Nothing in college and elementary school, middle school, blah, 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 high school. Like, this is the first, and I went to college in FIU. This new school, like Ayurveda, taught me how to be a better person. Like, nothing.
Wow.
Which is crazy. You know, like, we spend all our money, all our time, and learning all these things. We leave with a bachelor's and just more lost than when we entered. And, like, it's like, I am so happy because, like, this school, and it's consciousness based. They actually are the ones that taught me how to meditate.
Did you hear about this? You were searching this up?
I went to Punta Cana. One day when we were still working at Planta, I was like, what's next for me? Like, I felt so spiritually connected to myself. And I was like, okay, now that I have found, like, who I am, and I'm still finding out who I am every day, but I have a pretty good idea now. I don't feel very lost. Like, send me, like, where do you want me? How can I, like, be better to society, to our people? Like,
where can I be, like,
how service? Can I be me? And this is where the universe was just, like, I was literally meditating on, like, in the sunrise in Punta Cana. Literally.
Typical
me. And I literally, like, my partner at the time, I was telling him, like, I really feel called to doing something else. And I really want to get back into health and nutrition and food. And this is why I was becoming the chef thing. And Ayurveda just popped up. And I literally looked into it. Wow. I was like, how can I...
sucked in.
And I found a school that had a master's for it. Wow. And I was like, dude, this could, like, give me, like, it's kind of like, I wouldn't say, what's the word when you, like, reclaim something, I guess, like, reclaiming my power over my own education, because I felt so bad. So many people get a bachelor's, go to college without an idea of how the world works, what you want to do. I have so many friends in med school that are depressed now. They hate their life because you, like, undergrad is one thing. Once you get to, like, grad school,
it's like year 8,
dude, like, you had no idea. Like, first, like, in when you're getting all these cool courses, they're hard. Biology, chemistry, physics is hard, but you're learning the inner workings of reality, like this world that is unknown. You can't see it, but it's there. It's cool. And then when you get to med school, it's all based on pharmaceuticals, like, literally poisoning people with, like, chemicals, like, this never ending
petroleum based, you know,
like, all these things that make you dependent, not on, like, yourself, but on something else. Like, to me, health isn't something that, like, take a pill.
They don't heal you. They, like, suppress it.
Literally,
you know?
They just make you a slave to a pill. And it's
I've always really not liked the whole, like, doctor experience and, you know, the whole. It's so sad.
When I was a medical assistant, I used to see the patients more than the doctors, like, for longer. And that made me so sad. It's like, and the doctors were burnt out. They hated their lives. They all begged me not to go to med school. And not saying that I could have made it. Who knows?
Yeah, like, and and not saying that there isn't the people out there that will, you know, like, that is for them. And we obviously need doctors and everything like that. And we're shitting on Western medicine. But there is things, you know, like,
it
that
is
do.
For some things.
Yeah, and, you know, like, fuck, you know. We're talking like about it we're talking about in the form of, like lifestyle, you know, not like, man, if you got in an accident, you go to the hospital and you're in so much pain,
you
like,
need allopathic medicine in that moment, like,
exactly
that's what I mean.
I
think allopathic medicine is good for, like, in the moment, but like, natural medicines of, like, holistic medicine is more like preventative, like, you know, you like, the best thing is, like, the best doctor is the doctor that has no patients coming back because they're healed. There's not a business. It's and I always wanted that. I always wanted, like, my dream was actually to become a chef and then be, like, a Ayurvedic practitioner pro bono on the side, just doing it for free for people, like, one client a day, just be able to give back to the world in my own way, heal people. You know, maybe that was the will of the universe back then. Who knows what it is now? Yeah,
you're very open to, like, what can be. You know, that's super healthy. You know, a lot of people are very tight and tied up on one thing that they think they want to be because their parents told them, hey, you were supposed to be this because, you know, this is what we did and this is what we believe that you should do. And, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're both kind of still finding ourselves in life, you know?
I think you always are. You talk to people when they're old and
they're still coming up with new things, or they do a shift, a change, a midlife crisis. That's what it's called, you know, right? You know, and they move on to something completely new, and they change their whole like fucking, you know, like persona and how people perceive them. And that's good. It's healthy. I think so.
Before we started the podcast, I was telling you about how you're like, you come to this world, you're like this block, right? And like you start slowly chipping away at your own little sculpture, like those sculptures, I guess like whatever, the Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Of like, you know, you get a block and you're constantly just chipping away at what you're not. And like, I guess on your deathbed, when you get to see your art, your piece of art that is your life, and you're like, okay, that's what it is. You know, it's never like, okay, at 40, that's what it is.
And then what's next?
You know, like that's.
And then what's next is a constant, beautiful journey that we call life. And man, you know, we like we get into what everyone else kind of says it should be, and stuff like that.
We're just always learning. Like, I feel like even, like, I don't know if you want to be a parent one day. I want to be a mom one day. That's one of my dreams. It's one of the reasons I don't want to be a chef, because I wanted to have a family, you know? And it's a big it's important to think about sometimes, because it has to make sense. The math has to math. And 16-hour days, 6 to 7 days a week, no, it
doesn't work out. It doesn't
very
work
healthy.
Out. And some people don't do that math. And some people, you know, you have to be pretty calculated. You know, I think... You know, sometimes they just come out, but, you know, I think for children, like, I have to be super ready and, you know, like, ready to dedicate all of my time and effort and everything to being, like, a fucking father.
And that'll be an adventure of its own.
What would you name your kids, by the way?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, you know.
Oh, no.
I thought you were going to pull them out already.
I feel like that'll...
Like, you have them written down.
I think about them. I carry them in my heart in everything I do, because I feel like...
Wow, your future children?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Really?
That's not crazy. Go keep it.
I just feel like there's a future that will come to me, but it's created from now, right? So like everything I do now will eventually be who I am in the future. So like I do keep them in my heart, like in terms of like who I date, what I do, how I present myself in situations, blah blah blah, in terms of like being a girl, a woman, and I'm turning 29.
Zoom in on her, editor. I'm kidding. There's no one there. It's like Dexter.
What is it? 126. Okay.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know you were older than me. I thought you were like fucking my same age. I'm 25. I turned 25 recently. When's your birthday?
August 31st.
Oh shit, we're in a couple days. Yeah, it's
couple weeks.
It's August 4th. Cool.
Yeah,
that's fun. So you're turning the big 30
soon.
You're turning 30?
No, I'm turning 29.
Oh, okay. Still, whatever. You still look great. Yeah. Wow, it's good. And you don't even do yoga. What the fuck? Imagine you did yoga? No, I'm kidding.
I need to. I was doing yoga in Hawaii as like part of my morning routine.
Nice.
And that's part of Ayurveda. You learn that you should have this morning routine.
Yeah.
It's called dinacharya. It's called like you have pranayama. So it's like the breathing exercises that bring you closer to like this experience of the self, and then you have meditation and yoga, and it's all like this thing that you do. I was doing it more over there because I just felt more connected to the present moment, and I haven't gotten into it here. And I'm very patient with myself. I allow myself. I'm not super an allower where I don't like. I think I'm pretty good at like parenting myself, and I'm like, okay, like, you know, I get my shit done and I do things, and then sometimes you don't. Sometimes, you know, there's only so many hours in the morning before you gotta get up and just go to work and go to the gym and take care of yourself and start cooking. And so I haven't gotten into the yoga. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I looked up your yoga studio because
you should come.
Looks cool.
You're here, based around here?
Yeah, Miami Lakes.
No way. Nice.
No.
Damn, everyone's coming for you. Don't put your address.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you're kidding. Cares. You live in Pembroke Pines.
No one cares.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. It's very community. It is beautiful. And I've been going there for like 6 years. And,
really?
you know, yeah. So, you know, my yoga progression, now I'm taking it really seriously. And I go every single day to yoga.
How do you feel there when you're there? Yeah. Like,
how
do you feel?
I feel like I can grow. I can be myself. I can grow. Shout out to Diana and Olga. They're the owners. They're always there. They teach classes, you know, and all the other teachers are amazing. You know, there's a podcast with Taz Carter. He's one of the yoga teachers. Also, we're going to have a podcast with Vanessa Levette. She's crazy. She's fun, super duper cool. And I know you'd freaking fit right in. It'd be really awesome.
Meet her. Meet him.
it you know, the first time I did yoga, I was very young. I was like 16 or something. I don't know why. I think someone told me about it, this or that, and I went to that studio there, and I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I was sweating. I was just like laughing. I'm like, what is all this crazy shit? And then, I don't know, I think I went back here and there over like the year or two, and then one class, it struck me like I was really trying to like exercise and be this better person. And man, I took a class and I'm like, all right, this is what I need. Mm-hmm. This is going to solve all of my issues, you know? Every like mental, physical, all of that stuff, it's all like in a nutshell. It gives this, you know, it gives it to me. I'm really, really thankful, you know, for it. And, you know, it's beautiful to start something and then be down the line and noticing your progression, you know, when you don't really care for it, but it just happens, you know, I'm just there. I'm taking it day by day. Mm-hmm. So to be able to, you know, see your progress and, you know, you can be proud of yourself. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. I love that for you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. You know, I don't have a fucking multi-million-dollar company at the age of 25, but I do yoga and I have a podcast.
Hell yeah. You're literally like one of the coolest people I know.
No way. I'm going to cry.
You are.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And, you know, fuck, man. I really, you know, I want to say I don't try and I don't, but I do try really hard at the same time to speak out and to, you know, just, you know, I don't know. I'm just not okay with, you know, I see someone or something, I talk to them. I really don't like staying quiet. I feel like it's very unhealthy for me. And the more stuff you get out, the closer you get to like, you know, you move through time a little bit faster. Like, you know, you go up to that person that you think you like, you tell that person, hey, come over for the podcast. Hey, this, that, like it just, you know, I put myself out there a lot. So I think people are taking notes up there and they're like, all right, look at this guy. Oh, this guy has a good score. This guy's doing good. You know, he's like not listening to other people. He's doing his thing. And all while, you know, trying to keep a really good life work balance with family, friends and everything like that. You know, everyone knows I love them. Everyone knows I care for them. And I'm just trying to do good and be good. And I am good.
Well, you can be.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, you know, this is the moment. I feel like we can talk for like 3.5 more hours.
How long has it been?
It's been an hour and a half.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We were saying, when was the last time you sat down and talked to someone for more than 30 minutes and it being recorded? So this is like, you know, you need to come back and we need to do this again because, you know, wow, you know, we breached the surface and always the first ones are a little like, at the beginning, it's a little like weird or whatever, but then you start getting into it and you open up and it starts to flow and it's like a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I think I was made to like do this and bring the people that sit in these chairs to, you know, my audience. And then they become, you know, I'm sure someone that, you know, might watch this or, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you were always the guy as the front of the house guy. To me, this is like me watching you from my little station.
You were literally,
you were always the guy who was talking too much to people and getting in trouble and being told, Miguel, go run that food. Because everyone wanted to talk to you. You bring out like an aspect of each person that like it's so personal. Well, you can, I don't know what it is about you.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Thank you so much.
When you talk to someone, you make it like you bring out not the best in them, but the most real aspect of them. Because I've seen you talk to other people and it's like, wow, he's so himself with Miguel. Or like I can be so myself with Miguel. Yeah. And
that's so healthy. Awesome. That's the only thing I would want for people to, you know, I only want to be a good influence to people. I don't, you know, I just want to bring good stuff out here. And I'm not saying everything is rainbows and stuff. Everyone has like, you know, fucking either skeletons or like things that they're going to go through in life that are not pretty. It's not always pretty. You know, we deal with animals dying. We deal with accidents. We deal with this. We deal with our close friends and family dying. Like that shit is real. It happens. And, you know, you just have to look in the face of like trauma and like, you know, just work on it. That's what I think, you know, and yoga is the best way to do that. I'm like, yoga, you better fucking sponsor me. Whatever at yoga is, they better fucking give me some money, bro, because I'm been talking about yoga this whole time.
The fathers of yoga. The monks are looking at.
What is the name of the father of yoga again?
Patanjali.
Dude, you're so knowledgeable in the Ayurvedic. I have one of my favorite songs is Vedic chanting.
Oh shit. That's a whole other
Yeah, what is that?
other hour.
Oh, we could have talked. We've talked maybe about 1,000 subjects, and we could have probably talked about an hour on each of the subjects. Yeah. So when there's something, we should have a structure.
One.
We should have a structure for the next one, maybe. Nah, fuck that. This is crazy. We should just fucking improvise everything. But yeah, I hate to end it, but I think we're gonna end it. Fuck
it.
Bye. I love you. Peace out. Peace, Pot Microdot. This was amazing. Fucking like, comment, all that weird stuff. Ta-da! Hell yeah.